the man who whispered to spaces. Some people build buildings, others give a soul to the emptiness within them. Julian Vance was in the second category. He was a man who whispered to spaces. With his long, graying hair tied in a ponytail and a thoughtful salt and pepper beard he'd stroke when weighing design decisions, he seemed more philosopher than craftsman. For him, design wasn't just aesthetic arrangement. It was the art of managing perception, built on the foundation of human psychology. Leo and Clara sat on the floor of the empty living room in their new home, the result of their life's savings. The space was magnificent, with soaring ceilings and vast, arched windows that promised incredible light, but the sheer volume of it was intimidating. In their hands were expensive design magazines, and in their minds were dreams of a glamorous life to match, but their budget fell far short of their aspirations. When they arrived at Julian's studio, Leo excitedly spread pages torn from magazines across the table. "This marble coffee table," he said, "and this Italian sofa. We want quality, Julian." Julian glanced at the pictures for only a moment. His real interest was in Clara's quiet, thoughtful demeanor as she listened to Leo's passionate presentation. When Leo finished, Julian turned to Clara with a soft voice. "Clara," he said, "what do you dream of for this home?" Clara paused for a moment. I just want peace, a quiet, light-filled corner where I can feel sheltered at the end of the day." The difference between the two expectations became the most prominent design element in the room. As Julian walked through the empty apartment with the couple, he touched the walls and studied the angle of the light pouring through the windows. "This space," he said, "doesn't want to be choked with opulent furniture. It wants to be a stage for your story, to house your memories. We must manage the perception. The feeling of luxury isn't in expensive objects, but in the right details." On presentation day, Julian didn't lay out samples of shiny marble or imported fabrics as they expected. Instead, he presented a richly textured, warm oak laminate, a handmade ceramic vase, and a sketch for a massive, custom-designed bookshelf that would stretch to the ceiling. "The focal point," he explained, "will be this library wall, a timeless, quality piece. Everything else will exist to enhance its value." The implementation process proceeded with the precision of an orchestra conductor. Julian discussed the exact height of each shelf with a master carpenter and adjusted the warmth of the lighting with an electrician. For him, a quality material wasn't just the most expensive one, but the one that best served the purpose and told the story. And finally, they entered the finished home. Leo and Clara froze in the doorway for a moment. The living room didn't resemble the cold, distant spaces from the magazines. It was warm, inviting, and most importantly, it was theirs. The light filtered in as a soft beam, exactly as Clara had dreamed. With tears in her eyes, Clara walked towards a reading chair placed by the window, a perfect nook just as she had imagined. Julian smiled. "It's not the most expensive chair," he said, "but with the right fabric, the right light, and the right position, it's the most valuable corner in the world for you." Leo, meanwhile, was admiring every detail of the grand library wall. Months later, Julian received a photograph. It was of Leo and Clara, sipping coffee in their living room, now filled with their books and memories. Below it was a single note. "You didn't just design a house for us. You designed the life we wanted to live in it. Thank you." Julian smiled and turned to the new, blank project on his desk. There were many more stories for Spaces left to tell.